drop my channel down to like Darth Vader sound effects. What did you think of Gamescom?
It was disappointing. Yeah. Y'all ready? You were going to get started?
Yeah. Now I know you've been talking about No Rest for the Wicked, but I goofed. I got Phantom Liberty on sale, and that's just been crushing my time. It's good. It's good.
That's good, dude. That's really
I know, but I keep No Rest for the Wicked just keeps getting bumped back by these damn Steam sales.
The
man.
good thing about that though is just give it enough time. The game's only gonna get better. It's like,
We'll
all
get
right,
there.
yeah, it's gonna get there. Like I'm sitting here in kind of the No Rest of the Wicked waiting room for the next update. I'm like, let's freaking go.
Talking about updates, Baldur's Gate 3 patch 7 final update, mod support.
I saw that they
there's
were
too
looking
many.
at adding in that also through GeForce Now as well, because they did the same thing for World of Warcraft, where that in and of itself is one of the, I guess, bigger critiques that I've seen PC gamers put out about cloud, because they're like, but I like PC gaming because I can have mods, and we're seeing GeForce Now introduce that with World of Warcraft, with Baldur's Gate 3. It is a process, so it isn't like necessarily like, hey, I've got all the mods, but mods are wild, dude. Like that's they were actually releasing the expansion for Starfield here in a couple of weeks, and I'm like, all right, I had a good time with the first, the base game. I'm kind of like curious to see what a year's worth of time has done for that game as well, because I played it, I beat it, and I was like, that was cool. And then essentially I was like, well, I'm going to go play other things.
Did you get Starfield on release?
Yes, I got it on release. I was really excited for it. I really enjoyed it. In fact, a lot of people's critique of it's just Fallout in space. I was never a Fallout guy. Like, I remember sitting down and watching my friend play Fallout, and that's about it. Like, I wasn't excited. I wasn't interested. I'm not a real big post-apocalyptic aesthetic kind of guy. Like, give me my wizards, give me my fantasy RPGs, and then
Exploration, finding the unknown.
Yes. And then obviously big Star Trek fan. And so then it's like, oh, Star Citizen. And then it's like, there isn't really an alien race. Like, it is literally just humanity and the like spreading out across the stars.
Colonizing like we do.
That's what we do, baby. People talk about colonizing like a bad thing. I say, you're welcome.
We just got to stop doing it here. We got to take that off planet.
Exactly. That's like, I am all about interplanetary, right? Like, Musk is tweeting out like his, 4-year plan to get people living on Mars. And I am all for it, because that is, I think, what is humanity has been lacking. That's why we've been so tribal, is because we don't have something that we can shoot for. We've given up on the stars. And it's crazy to me that billionaires are the ones who are trying to pursue that. With their penis-shaped rockets and whatnot.
Everyone except Taylor Swift is invited to Mars.
Everyone except Taylor Swift. Is this a decree by Dante, or is there something I don't know going on in the world?
Don't Musk got beef with Swift, or is that just Trump?
I have no idea. Like, I haven't been keeping up with who. Like, somebody's
It's
like,
not on
oh,
the
I
fun
have
news,
beef, and
man.
we squashed it. I'm like, I had no idea that there was beef, and congratulations on the squash. I've seen some memes about the Swifties, or at least Taylor Swift, saying like, isn't it interesting that 90% of her songs are about choosing the wrong person? And
Well, that's
she's
what sells, baby.
That's what sells, and then coming out and endorsing Kamala, and I'm like, all right. Like, yeah, like, I get it. Like, I'm not like, why is this news? But it is Swift. Congratulations again on her winning the first time rookie Super Bowl award. Like, she crushed that one. So what else has been going on in your neck of the woods, sir?
Nothing too exciting. I was at a wedding last weekend. That was nice. Got to see some
open
old
bar?
friends. Of course, dude. You don't go to cash bar weddings. Like, what?
Dude,
Telling me I gotta...
that's when I shake the father of the bride's hand. I'm like, sir, you are...
Yeah, thank you for your service.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, like, I'm gonna spend money on a flight, hotel, get you something from the gift registry. It better be open bar. Like, have a little respect, right?
Yeah.
But no, it was dope. Got to go back to Wisconsin for a little bit. Been a few years since I've been there. Not much has changed. A couple of new bars. That's about it.
Cool. How's all the karaoke, or no, trivia, excuse me, how's all the trivia going?
Trivia's been going good. Been playing with the format a little bit. Introduced like a wagering system
Oh,
to
okay.
the final round. So like, hey guys, any points you accumulated, you can now like bet them up to a point. Get it right, get those points. Get it wrong, lose those points. And that's been really helpful for like teams that don't have a great first round, or
Mhm.
maybe you walk in late. You can still join and feel like you got a chance to play.
Right, because then you can
Uh,
just risk it all at the end of it anyway. And
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Um, so I think I finally got the format to a place that I like it. And then, like I said, I got to hop off the call a little bit early today here, going to the other side of town to
We've
pitch some
been
venues with a buddy.
we've been on a break from the podcast anyway, so yeah, like I'm just
Yeah.
glad we're sitting down talking because so much has been going on. Like our last show was literally the reaction to Gamescom because I was like, oh, it's kind of fun. We got to sit down and watch some, and then the awkward jokes. Like no matter what, why do they make these presenters like write these jokes that they're not for the room? The room is like, I just am here for the announcements and the information, and then you have somebody like, we got to keep this flowing, and it's like I don't know when those have landed. And so we've seen the presentation shift into the directs, right, where it's like, this is pre-recorded, this is subtitled if we're interviewing somebody who's not speaking English, and it just delivers the facts on facts on facts on facts. Go buy these games. And I think that's where like people are more interested in, but it's always interesting to see when it happens in a live environment. But that was our last show, and since then they've tried to assassinate the Trumpian again. That was something this weekend. I was like, wait, like, because I first read it is that he actually did get shot again. And I was like,
Fool me once,
man.
shame on you. Fool me twice.
The guy had, like he attracts all kinds of bullets. Just it's like, but I read that.
I'm giving him my thoughts and prayers. Hopefully that helps.
You never know, man.
It doesn't, but
the thoughts and prayers, and then the assassination encounters. It's like I've seen some funny memes about it though. I think my favorite one was Trump calling Kamala, and she's like, "Who's this?" He says, "Owen." She says, "Owen who?" And he says, "Owen 2." And then the whole bit, like, and I don't even know if this is funny, but it's something I want to try to work on tonight on the mic, is that I just can't shake the feeling like Trump is Inspector Gadget and Kamala or the deep state is the Claw. It's like, I'll get you next time, Trump. Because I can do the Claw like impersonation. I wish if I could do the Trump, it'd be like, that'd be perfect. But
so I am so terrified. Like, do people under like 25 know who Inspector Gadget is?
I think so. I mean, my kids watch it.
Okay, good. Matthew Broderick one, right?
Is Matthew Broderick in?
They made a real life one.
Complete.
Oh, so you're watching the cartoon. Okay,
we're watching the old classic cartoons with the
cartoon's
kids.
Awesome.
The cartoon's awesome. Then you have the end. It's like, oh, Gadget. Oh no. And I'm like, man,
pretty ridiculous.
Well, of course. And the same thing with Get Smart. Like, you remember when they did Get Smart with Steve Carell?
Oh yeah, from the TV show.
It's so unfortunate. Like I actually really love that. I love the TV show Get Smart back in the day. And then I thought Steve Carell did a great job, and they didn't follow that movie up with anything. I thought they could have made that a franchise, at least as I enjoyed it. I don't think maybe the box office numbers justified another round. But I was like, yeah, let's go. And I was happy to see that. There was this period of time where they were kind of remaking these old classic shows into movies. They never did MASH, but that was not yet. And I'm just wondering if that was ever on the table, but I don't know. Would they put, like, if they upgraded MASH to a movie, or like we're going to bring it back kind of a show, do they set it in Vietnam? Is it a period piece for that time, or is it something like Afghanistan or some kind of modern conflict about it? What do you think?
I was gonna say, as soon as we step our toes in somewhere we shouldn't, within a year, I bet we see a MASH reboot. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever our next Afghanistan is, maybe we go hop in Ukraine for a little bit. We're getting a MASH movie within 365 days, 100%.
365. Count. You heard it here first, folks.
You heard it here.
I'm
putting $20 on that. That's it.
Yeah. The one of my favorite other memes about the Swift endorsing Kamala is it's a bunch of like military kind of themed, like Call of Duty like GIFs, and it's like me and the boys getting ready to go to Ukraine because that's what's happening. Me and the boys getting ready for Taiwan. Oh, let's go. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was talking to my brother about this, and I was like, if there's going to be a war, if there's going to be like this, you know, if China is going to invade Taiwan or something like that, like I'd rather have it happen when I'm young enough to fight and not have it happen when my boys are old enough to fight. Like I'm in this position where like I'm kind of on the clock. Like I've, you know, like
Hold up.
Yeah.
Hold up. I don't want to interrupt you, but like, is that from like a place of, oh, I would never want to send my son somewhere dangerous? Or is it like, oh, these little fuckers aren't going to be able to fight, I gotta go in and do this?
I've seen them use a gun.
A mixture of both.
Mixture of both. Well, I keep handing them guns, and they're just not efficient with them.
They're just not learning
all the time. They're just like tossing them up in the air. It's like, no, they're just not. They're not. I don't think they have the trigger like figure. You know, like they don't. They do not have the skills necessary to survive in this world. The discipline, though, like taking turning off my comedy hat and putting on my like actual dad hat. Like it's not like for me, one of the things I really want to get all my kids in is jujitsu, namely because like
jujitsu, wrestling, or gymnastics can't start them young enough.
But I want to get them into that necessarily because it's like I've seen like, you know, petite women like be able to like handle like really like tough guys and big guys, and it's like, yeah, like this stuff is legit. I did a little bit of jiu-jitsu back in the day, really enjoyed it. I was more into taekwondo, just I guess because that was the area of the time we lived in. But yeah, like now I'm like, no, jiu-jitsu 100%. Like that's
so much flexibility and stretching in taekwondo. No thank you.
That's something I need more of. Like I ended up like hurting my back this summer. It's been this like long running injury, and so I've been doing physical therapy. I actually just got back from physical therapy.
You got a pull-up bar?
I do actually. It's right outside the
just like gently hanging on it 10 20 seconds first thing in the morning.
It helps
will change your life.
Yeah,
honestly.
Same thing with drinking water. So for like, we're going completely non-comedy.
Actually, crazy.
Guys, welcome to the life
welcome
advice.
to the health podcast.
Guys, all right, you got to get up, you know, get some sun first thing in the morning.
Sounds also great. This is all great advice.
Drink some water. My mom was telling me this. I have no idea if it's bullshit or not. So I don't know if, you know, Facebook is such an interesting place because it is how we as comedians communicate to each and everybody. It's like Instagram, Facebook. That's like, I was not using Facebook for really anything until I became a stand-up comedian. And it's like, oh, Facebook for everything, because this is how we all like network and stuff like that, which was just funny.
What's the alternative? Just giving your number out to anyone that does 5 minutes on a microphone?
Like, hey,
that's
man,
not a good idea.
You killed that 5 minutes. Here's my phone number.
Yeah,
exactly. 100%. Like,
but Facebook is nice for that, as annoying as it can be.
But and my mom has gotten into this habit of, she sends me all of these like medical things. And so recently and I don't know if this, like I don't really like have time to look into every kind of claim. And I think that's the cure to all of life's problems. Just have so many kids that you do not have time to worry about what else is going on in the world, because you won't have time to pay attention to it in the first place. But she sent me this thing about grounding. Have you heard of grounding?
Like the gay thing?
The gay thing?
Or am I? No, I'm thinking of sounding. Never mind. What is ground?
I was about to say, like, now I need to know the
totally different thing.
Way
off. Not appropriate.
Samsonite, that was way off. No, it's about like standing barefoot in your yard or like on ground.
Yes, I've heard of this.
For like a little bit, and it supposedly has some kind of
the magnetism with the earth.
Yeah, and I was like, I never knew my mom was a witch, you know.
It's a Wiccan, Brian. Wiccan, thank you.
I'm ignorant. After 40, I apologize for nothing.
So that, I think, is beneficial, but not for whatever the dumb magnetic pole. It just feels nice to be barefoot outside.
Yeah, same thing with carpet, barefoot on carpet. Like one thing, like you know the best Christmas movie of all time, Die Hard. Yeah. Like his advice about the plane and taking off your shoes and kind of curling your toes on the carpet. Like I do that to this day. Like whenever I have to travel and I get into a hotel room, it relaxes me. I don't know if it's like
nice. Kick the shoes off, feel the ground.
be a man. Like, what else is manly that we can? Yeah, I'm about to. I'm looking for like getting the kids into camping and things like that. So it's like getting out into the woods, and that's what I've like been so busy. Somebody was saying like I have a whole new bit. I don't know if I've performed it for you yet, but it was that I get up, I do like a joke about like I'm so glad to be here and not trapped at home with my kids. And then it's like, and then when they asked me if I could do 5 minutes or 10 minutes, whatever, like, the set length is, if I could do 10 minutes, I said, sure. But as long as my wife asks, tell her I did an hour. And I go, one of the things that I've really enjoyed, and I got something huge to celebrate, is I've got over a year, of sobriety, so I've been sober for the past year. Everybody's like applauds. And I go, consequently, I also haven't been booked on a comedy show in about a year. Perhaps I was hoping this would be some type of intervention. Like we gotta get him drinking again, and it's so funny because it's true, because it's like I haven't, but it wasn't because I was struggling with any kind of like issue with alcohol. I just cut out sugar and lost 80 pounds, and so it's like let's freaking go. But it's fun. It's like. But it's been like in terms of like the actual show scene, every show that I've potentially been booked on this year has conflicted with family stuff. Like, oh, we're going to be out of town. We got this. And I've been like double, triple investing in the kids. So we've been doing soccer and baseball, and, my wife's stressed out as all get out because it's like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are just like our stacked days.
It's slam packed.
Slam packed. It's like we got to go here, we got to do this, and I love it. Like that's the thing, like that I tell her, because it's like if you take that away, like if we don't do this, I think I'll just revert back into I get off work and I'm gonna go lay on the couch for like an hour,
and just do nothing.
Like, oh man, I'm tired. But it's like the act of like I have physically gotten young children in the ready and in the car and to an event. Something about that like gives me some kind of dad energy that like I literally feel like after work I'm just like I'm tired. I just want to go like sit in a shower and like cry because it's like I'm so tired, because it's like the kids will keep you up and whatnot, and nowadays I'm like, all right, but getting out and I'm like, all right, I got this. I can do this. And so that's kind of been the big thing. It's like, and I don't regret that decision at all, because the worst case scenario for me, as I've always kind of thought about it, because of the amount of time that people talk about investing in comedy just to have an opportunity to like really truly grow, is like, yeah, I don't want my kids to be like, I don't know dad and I hate comedy because of that. It's like, I know one thing about him. He did this thing and I never got to see him growing up. So I was like, when the kids are all grown and whatnot, then maybe I take the show on the road here in 20 years. We'll see.
Yeah, when you got the empty nest.
That's right, dude. I'm looking forward to that empty nest. I think it's gonna be fun. I think because the fact is like, if you just imagine, I have 6 kids. If they all have 6 kids themselves, that's 36 grandbabies, baby.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So that's
exponential.
That means that 6 grandbabies are gonna be like you don't get this month. Like there's only so many days in a month, and so if we end up exceeding 31 days, then there's gonna be a gaggle of grandchildren that do not get to spend some.
It's clearly the least favorite.
Have you ever thought about like what name you would be called as a grandparent?
As a grandparent?
Yeah.
Oh, I like Gam Gam or Meemaw.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I have not, actually. That's an interesting question.
I've fully invested.
Like lingo wise, it's gonna change.
I have my name. Like I've got it locked in. I'm ready to go. You want to hear it? That'd be good. Damn.
Now we got another one.
Fuck. It's like, son of a bitch. Red. All right. Let me get back to the. No, I want to be Papa Beast.
Papa Beast.
Papa Beast. Yeah. Because like
I could see that.
My niece when she just went off to college. So tip of the hat. Way to go, Bree. We're proud of you. Get that college degree. Out. But when she was young, she just called me Uncle Beast, so it's like instead of Uncle Brian or whatever. And I was like, I love Uncle Beast. Let's go. And I was like, I'm going to ride that train all the way into being a grandparent.
All the way into grandparenthood.
Papa Beast, baby. and then essentially like maybe I should make that channel now just to lock in the name, because there is a Mr. Beast. I don't think he has children.
Not yet.
Not
but
yet.
He will.
But yeah, so I gotta get on that marketing and trademark train, so people don't think I'm just following some dumbass YouTuber.
What was the is it Grandpa Gaming or the Gaming Grandpa?
Something I think is Gaming Grandpa.
Yeah, I know that guy. I've seen him. He's like 80 and just plays WoW and shit.
That's the thing. When people are like, "Are you like Brian? Do you want to pursue comedy full time? Brian, do you want to pursue content creation full time?" I'm like, that is my literal retirement plan. But like in the meantime, I'm gonna get the bag. I'm gonna go work and earn money and put that in retirement, so that I can go do all of this, and I can be either as offensive or ridiculous. Cancel me every which way. My 401k still pays me the same thing every month. It's just like I'm free. In that regards. And
Brian, it's the weirdest story, just the most wholesome content till about 82.
Till 82, full.
And it got weird.
He shaved the rest of his head, and it was all downhill.
Got a face tattoo. He got weird, dude.
A couple tears. Filled in.
It's like a spider web on your forehead.
What kind of tattoo would I get? That was always a question that I had. I never had the desire to get a tattoo because I could never think of anything physically that I wanted on my body that long. But I do admire tattoos, especially when people get sleeves and they're all telling a story. But have you ever seen someone the internet's great for this? You see the tattoos that you're like, oh, that's a regret, immediate regret.
Those are my fate. I love dumb tattoos, King of the Hill.
Yeah.
A bunch of people will do King of the Hill characters, but from anime shows.
Yeah.
So Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
So they'll do that, but instead of Goku, it's Hank and Dale and Bobby as Frieza, and they'll get that as tattoos.
Damn it, Bobby!
And I'm like, that's awesome. Not every tattoo has to have a story. It can just be dumb and funny and cool.
They don't all have to have a story, but there are some really, really good.
There's some that do look terrible.
My wife put her foot in her mouth so hard when she was in college one time because there was a conversation about tattoos came up, and she's like, the one tattoo that she was saying this that I don't understand why people get. It seems like such a regret is to get a sun tattoo around your belly. Especially because she's especially for girls, because if you have a baby, that gets stretched out. And this one woman who was standing right next to us just slowly lifts up her shirt, and it's this. It used to be a sun. Right now, it looks like a whole It's just I was that was so
amoeba.
funny. Amoeba. Yeah, exactly. It's like what are we looking at here? I was like, yeah, that seems that. And he also had the tramp tattoos, the back tattoos.
A little butterfly.
On girls and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, all right. I thought that was hot. I was like, I'm not going to get one.
I mean, I'm a fan. I think you could pull it off. Maybe just your YouTube channel handle right on your lower back.
Yeah, right there.
Ginger Pride.
Ginger Pride.
Donations below, arrow pointing down.
Oh man, damn! Big Red is such a good name though. Big Red.
Back to Big Red.
Big Red, baby. That was a soda, right?
Old Red. That was what?
That was a soda, right? Big Red.
Gum, chewing gum.
Big Red. That was a gum. Jeez,
it was the cinnamon chewing gum.
The one thing that has been immediately apparent to me, since I've been doing physical therapy on my back, because it's I think I injured it just working out, naturally, because I was like, all right, and it was kind of bothering me. I was sleeping on it, and then it eventually got to the point where I was I went to the doctor for some muscle relaxers because it was like it is just tight and stuff like that. Doing the physical therapy, they do this thing called dry needling where they just stick a needle in you, and it sucks, and then But it's half a second of suck, and then all of a sudden you feel that muscle just completely let up and release, and it feels just so at that point it's ugh. All right, here we go. And since then I've been thinking I've been losing my mind. I was like, all right, I guess this is what Alzheimer's feels like, because all summer my brain was just foggy. I feel I felt like I walked into a room at least once a day and go why am I in here? I came here for a reason. I've completely forgot. And since going through physical therapy, that has completely gone away. And I was I think I was just this injury is impacting my sleep. So not only get some sun and drink some water, guys, get some really good sleep. And if you're not getting some good sleep, you got to get that great sleep. And it has been a game changer.
I was gonna say, you said you had like pretty noticeable back pain.
Yeah, it was like in my shoulder blade, like a whole
like
muscle spasm.
Extended pain throughout the day is very distracting. Like that will actually induce brain fog if it's just like something that's constantly like, God damn.
And the thing is
like shoulder.
Like I'm stubborn and I'm, it's like I kind of just,
I can move it. I don't need to see it.
I play through the pain, all the time. Like, and it's like same thing now also, like, welcome. Like I played football back in the day and I tell you, like, I will not let my boy, like, I'm like, I don't want my boys to go to Taiwan. I don't want them playing football, and I'm not in the right state for that.
What?
This is Texas.
With a little Dane Bramage. Never hurt no one. It's good for character.
Just a little brain damage. Like, maybe I have some brain damage because I did get a concussion. But it's like
one.
It's the knees now. I blew out my knee. Like I had a whole my knee went like it's normally like this, and then somebody grabbed it and went like this. And so like I was like, it was horrible. It was like it was a bad experience. That's an experience that haunts me to this day because I see like a slight incline, like stairs, no problem. I can do stairs all the live long day. But you give me a slight incline and all of a sudden the knee will just like bite me. So I feel like I have to walk up like, like as Zoidberg from like Futurama.
Sideways.
Like, all right, guys, hold on. Let me just, why is he doing, what is that? It is an exercise where you side shuffles. It's like I side shuffle up hills.
Yeah.
It's like, all
lateral
right,
movements.
Pardon me, guys. Pardon me. But, all right. Yeah. So it's like, we've been just like riffing here. What else is going on in your neck of the woods? Because there's also some gaming news that I'd love to get your thoughts on.
Nothing too exciting. Just back to Ohio, hitting mics. Got a couple of trivia gigs this week. Trying to think if I got anything fun coming up. Oh, I got a show in Buffalo. That'll be in October that I'm pretty stoked to go check out. Never done comedy in New York yet, so.
Dude, way to freak! Yeah. There's been a couple of people, from here that have also been going up to New York, etc. But yeah, still New York, like.
Yeah. Well, I mean, have you been to New York, like state? New York.
I have been to Newark. That is just the airport.
New Jersey.
Yeah, that's as close as I've gotten.
I guess, yeah. That's like New York City is very different from the rest of like New York. Like New York is like Newark more than New York City.
Yeah,
just like green. Kind of yuppie, middle class. You know what I mean?
My favorite place that I visited up on the East Coast was Providence, Rhode Island. And it's
I've not been to Rhode Island yet.
Dude,
it's on my list.
Like my inner Italian, like is just was at home. Like I was like, I would have been in the mafia, And my wife's like, you could do that. I was like, I don't know if I could kill anybody, but I definitely like the respect. It's like
the respect and the outfits
and the family.
And the gabagool.
Oh yeah, it's like give me that manicotti.
Manicotti.
And it's like I love that. Like it reminds me of home. And it was
this guy needs to get whacked. Somebody call manicotti. Get it done.
Get it done. I don't want no excuses. Oh man, but yeah. So it's like I loved it up there, and the Italian food was amazing. Like it was just so freaking good that I was like, yeah. And then I had to go back because I was up there for work, and that was about it. So they sent me home. So yeah.
Surprisingly, Cleveland has incredible Italian food. There's like a little Italy part of town, very, very heavily Italian.
Yeah, absolutely. I have not. I think my mom's from Cleveland. Well, in a way. I have to. I was like, she's somewhere. Like her story was crazy because she was born in London, like in London. So she was like in London until she was 6, and then yeah. Is there another London?
I think so. I mean, there's a Paris, Tennessee.
I didn't know there's a Paris, Tennessee. I knew there was a Paris, Texas.
Exactly. So
yeah, I'm still disappointed they called New York, New York. I think we should have kept with New Amsterdam.
Oh, I thought you were just gonna say York.
Just York. Yorking it over York. Here. Yeah, it's like,
where are you staying this weekend? York City, York.
York City, York. Same thing, because it's like new is such a funny word because it has an actual impact on our psyche. Because so for content creation using the word new for information has value 10 years from now. Like I've noticed people coming in and the comment will be, this isn't new information. And then I'm just like, check the publish date, buddy. But new is this weird
But that's
invitation.
still engagement.
Yeah. Well, it is. I always think people, when people come in and make mean words in text, I don't, it's like, well, thank you for supporting the content.
Yeah. Thanks for watching.
I appreciate you. I'm glad we can have this conversation. I will keep you in my prayers, my brother in Christ. But
it's a funny point about new though, because that just made me realize, I think I must have been about like 19 or 20 when I realized like, oh, New England, New York, New Hampshire, New Jersey, these are all just fucking English places.
Yeah.
We didn't come up with any of these names.
We just borrowed them. We're like, this is the new version of this thing that we know.
Like I always knew about New Mexico. That one was obvious, but York, Jersey, those ones took me a little longer.
There's a New Mexico?
Oh, who's that old comedian? Steve Byrne has a great bit about that.
It's like, oh man, and it's wild too, because like Mexico, it's the same thing with like I have a whole bit about the Bible. Like you have like the biggest flex was that Christianity comes in and was like, hey, Jews, your scripture, that's now the Old Testament. And here is have you heard of the New Testament? And it's like, imagine like your entire religious and worldview. It's like, yeah, we own that now, and we're gonna slap the label old right on top of it.
I was just picturing like a bad like 80s records producer, like, hey, that's the old. All right, we got this new sound.
Have you heard this new sound?
This new sound is what the kids want to hear.
You got to get the gabagool, and you got to get the Jesus, rocking the Jesus. I've been really into Kanye West's Jesus soundtrack. Like, I hadn't heard it before.
Life of Pablo?
Or no, I don't think it's. I think it's just called The Gospel or Jesus, something like that. Dude, holy crap! I was like, I've probably listened to that like 100 times just this summer. I don't know why I got into this crazy.
It's a pretty good album.
Dude, I was like, wow, man. Like, of course, I'm coming in after like all the Nazi stuff, so it's like,
yeah, had some time to let it settle.
Let's calm down a little bit. I think I'm okay.
He's got a metal mouth now, so that's fine.
Whoa, I don't follow.
Oh, you didn't see that?
No.
You know the old Bond villain, Jaws?
Yeah,
he did that. Like he just has like a titanium denture set.
Oh, it's just his teeth?
But like it's like a bar. It's not titanium fake teeth. It's like, can we do a picture in picture on this, or can you Google it?
Yeah, hold up.
You gotta see the visual. Just Kanye teeth.
How the hell do I do this? All right, we're gonna for those of you watching this video, we're gonna change up something real quick. So
we're going through a little
browser just popping up. Okay, so Kanye, how do you spell Kanye?
Kanye.
Kanye West, American rapper and singer. And what do I say? Teeth or?
Yeah, just search teeth. It should be.
And then images. It's gonna be funny. Someone's gonna be like, "Yo, Ginger's using Bing."
Disgusting.
Whoa.
Duck, go,
gross,
brother.
dude. Cancel this guy. All right. So
Yeah.
These things like vampire teeth.
Yeah, but like it's one just solid piece of titanium. Like it's not.
And those are over his teeth, though.
No, I think they're his teeth.
Oh,
like I think he had his teeth removed, and those just screwed in.
Holy crap, dude!
Jaws inspired teeth after spending $70,000. Jesus.
$670,000.
Jesus.
Jesus is right.
Jesus.
Holy crap, dude! I hope those are over his teeth and that he did not remove his teeth. Like teeth is one of the most like it's. Back to the health podcast. You guys better be brushing y'all's teeth because it actually has such a huge impact, especially later on in your life. Being able to actually eat real food will reduce your need on medication. So Big Pharma doesn't want you to know this. And I know this firsthand because that's how how we lost everything. My dad went into nursing homes, took care of people's teeth, brought in like a chef and fed all the elderly real food. and dropped their medications by 90%. And Big Pharma was like, all right, we got to go figure out what's going on in this state. Why is all our medications down? And that was it. And like, it's such an interesting thing, like how simple some solutions are. Not every solution. Medicate. Like the problem with Big Pharma is we also love our drugs. Like, oh, this is a really good drug. I'm on a daily drug to help, address my testosterone issue. But yeah, we've got like that aspect. And I'm like, so I know this firsthand experience. Like, I'm like, yeah, man, like, woo, you just see their tentacle. I always see their tentacles all the time. Like, all right.
We love our accessible drugs, like it makes sense, Do you take the time out of your day to brush and feed, or do you take the pill that takes 20 seconds, right?
Well, have you been following all this Ozempic craze?
I am so far behind. I know they were getting in trouble, but then everyone wanted more. Now they're getting in trouble again.
It's like, and then especially
like dying yet from Ozempic. That's just when I'm gonna start.
I have not heard about any kind. Like, so if by the time this podcast comes out, I don't know.
Let's timestamp this right now. We're not aware.
We're not as of September the 17th, 2024. I am not aware, but there is causing some like gut issues. And what I've also heard is that it's actually also having where people are losing muscle because they're, in this case, it's not that it's keeping them from eating. They're just not interested in eating. So they don't eat. So they're not getting enough protein. So their body essentially is like, all right, so you've seen a lot. They've been basically, yes, people are losing a lot of weight, but they're also like, there are other risks. There are other complications. But as somebody who's been overweight and just has struggled with that for years to figure out why is there a problem here? Like I get that draw. Like I think they would have gotten me, like if it went another year, because what was a bigger risk? Like me being 320 pounds or, me having osteoporosis later on in life. It's like, hey, at least I made it to that stage, as opposed to like, fat man dies of heart attack in 40s. Like, that's not a headline. It's like,
well, that's why I was asking too. Like, as long as no one's died from Ozempic, I'm not gonna give a shit. Like, do what you want. If it works, it works. If you're
and it does. Like, for a lot of people,
or losing a little muscle,
maybe a little bit of both. A little bit.
Like you said, 320, or you lose a little muscle.
A little muscle. In my case, thankfully, I've only just been packing it on,
That's right. Look, everybody's got a six pack in the cooler. All right, some just got more ice covering it up.
And then I'm gonna talk to my kids like the Claw, like, put your shoes in. Oh man, that's wild. Have you been following any of the PlayStation news?
I saw the PS5 Pro was announced, and a lot of people were butthurt about the price.
I'm surprised that it was such a 700. Well, 800 if you want to play physical media. And what I said about it is like,
oh, they're doing that bullshit again. I don't like that.
Dude, it is like, and I don't like, somebody was like, I don't think by 2030 you'll see consoles with disk drives, and it's like, I don't think by 2026. I don't think the next Xbox has a disk drive. They might have it as an add-on that they'll sell you, but if you want to be a physical game player, like they're going to tax you guys like crazy. You're going to have to drive to some, store somewhere to buy your physical game. Is like,
I'm torn. I'm really torn. Cause like on the surface, yes, efficiency wise, the digital media is always going to be better. But like as a medium of art and creativity, I think we're going to lose something in a big way if we completely get rid of the physical media of gaming. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like the cover of album artwork, the actual physical stores, being able to walk in like a kid in a candy store and just kind of look at everything, be like, oh my God, this is sick. You lose a lot of that when it's just...
You remember like when Blockbuster went away? Like, yeah, it's so nice, and they just kind of like pull up the TV and you have, endless amounts of entertainment that you want to watch, and it's instant. But there was something about going to Blockbuster,
Going to Blockbuster was a great first date. You get 20, 30 minutes conversation, then you go back, watch a movie, like
get some candy, you're like, all right, well, yeah, why not? We're on a date, It's like, it was great. I loved it. And then it was just wild because you would just see so many of the disc. And then it started off in the era of Be Kind, Rewind, because it was all the tapes, and then they also shifted into the DVDs and then so much more, which was like, oh, this is great.
Incredibly underrated movie, by the way.
Which one?
Be Kind, Rewind. Did you ever see that one?
Yeah, I did. That's a great movie.
Yeah, yeah.
I cannot remember the premise or anything about it, but I do remember the name, and I enjoyed it.
Jack Black and Mos Def mess up all the movies in a video store.
Yeah.
So to not get fired, they reshoot all the movies.
Oh, that's right.
It's like RoboCop is just him in a trash can in the alleyway, like, citizen, freeze.
Oh man, that's a good movie. I'm gonna have to go sit back and watch that. My favorite all-time Jack Black movie is Hard Rock, School Hard Rock.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Dude, it's like I love it. Thought that was great. And then him obviously
The Legend of Paying the Rent.
The Legend of Paying the Rent. And then I also really enjoy Kung Fu Panda. Like both as
Kung Fu Panda is incredible.
It started before I had children. It's still going, and I have children. And I'm like, I like this as an adult. I like this as a parent. Like this is a lot of fun.
It's just great storytelling, honestly.
It is. And I think they're going to keep doing more because I'm assuming I just saw 4. I'm kind of lost track, but I think I just recently saw 4 this year. And so I'm like, yeah, keep them coming. Same thing maybe with Shrek too. Like, I think Shrek is still a thing. I don't know.
I know Puss in Boots. Last Wish came out a few years ago.
Last Wish was great. Did you see that?
Last Wish was great, dude. I cried.
Dude, same here. And
at the end when Goldilocks, spoiler warning,
who the wolf is.
Yeah,
dude. Like all of a sudden, like the hair like stood up on, and you know, because I saw it with. I didn't take all the kids because like I took the older kids, and it was still scary. Like I was like, oh, I get that. That was wild. Yeah, they did a good job with that movie. I like the art style because it was obviously CG, but occasionally they shifted in this kind of painting, kind of aesthetic.
A lot of like kind of cell shaded stuff almost.
And I was like, that was a really cool touch. I like that from an artistic perspective.
But again, it was great writing. Like it just tackled like the big theme was death, like mortality, and like that is just such a fun fear to play off of for children and adults, right? Like you can get both audiences engaged in the seat.
Yeah, and it's also kind of instills that a good life lesson in that regards, right? Because it's also it's not about not moving forward. The thing also about that movie, outside of the wolf being who he was the villain, Little Jack Corner, played by, what was his name?
John Mulaney.
John Mulaney.
Yeah.
And it was so good because he was also like something that we haven't, I think, seen in a long time. He was evil incarnate, meaning that they kept trying to find a redeeming thing about him, and there wasn't anything redeeming about him. Because I think we've been in this era of, the bad guy's got a complicated past, and that's why they're the bad guy. They're wrong, and they're going about it in the wrong way. But for like, if you understood who they really were, right? Thanks, Thanos. Who they really were, then like it does make sense. It doesn't excuse it. But in some way,
but I can see why.
But I can
see why they're on this
path. If that was me, I see myself in the villain. If I had gone through that tragic past.
But like it is hard to write a villain where you just want to go fuck that guy, but I want to see what he's gonna do next. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
and they knocked that one out of the park too.
Like it seemed like he was redeemable, and then you find out like, oh no, he was just a shitty kid too. Fuck this guy.
Yeah, it's like let him die. Let's go. Oh man, what a freaking good movie. But yeah, so digital media for the PlayStation is an additional tax. So $800 would be basically what somebody would need to pony up to have a PS5 Pro and a disk drive.
700 no disk drive.
700 no disk drive, which for me, I have the $400 no disk drive PlayStation 5 anyway. So like I was already like, I'm not getting discs. And then I ordered Final Fantasy 16. And it's like came with like the only a game that I've bought, and it's still in its packaging because then I just straight up downloaded the game, and I bought it because it came with this statue, right?
That's sick.
I never do this kind of stuff, but this is what it is. Like I love it, and so it's so freaking amazing.
But see, that's what I'm saying is like now you have a piece of art, little aesthetic, goes with the Buster Sword on the back wall, real nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean, but it's also insanely expensive. Like, would I do that again? For like maybe one game a generation that I'll be like,
for a
all right, cool. Give me something
like.
I'll toss up on my wall and whatnot. So it is going to be, it's one of those things that I'm just like, nah, I shifted to all digital back in the Xbox One, PlayStation 4 days. Like I have not that was the first disc in 2 generations.
I definitely like digital on computer, obviously, but I think if I go back to a console again, I will get a disc drive. But I guess I haven't even looked at the PS5 Pro specs. Is it actually
That's where
noticeably better?
the drama kind of kicks in. I've
Yeah.
heard it described as being able to run performance and fidelity mode. So if you think about how games are like, hey, I'm going to run this and this has a performance mode where it prioritizes framework. It's said that it's basically, you don't have to pick. But then that's going to be up to the game to recognize and be optimized for it. So it really, in a way, is going to be for somebody who has wanted, better frames per second. But everything I've seen isn't really fully committal that it's going to do all the things, etc. So I do think on the back half of this, gamers are going to be frustrated as well. I think gamers have been more frustrated this generation than anything else because we haven't seen such a high fidelity jump that we did from the PS2 to the PS3, from the PS3 to the PS4. And has improved, but it hasn't improved in such a way that you're like, I need this console so I can enjoy this game. And I've seen more people shift over to things like PC gaming with like Elden Ring and Black Myth Wukong, which I highly recommend. Black Myth Wukong. I'm loving that game. I love that. That I've been really getting into the Souls-like experience this year, and it's been wonderful.
I don't know. I guess I haven't been I haven't been following the PS5 too much, but like from the complaints I've seen, like it hasn't been the system, it's been the games themselves, which that's not a hardware limitation. That's kind of more on the game studios themselves not taking advantage of the hardware available to them.
Right.
That
comes
so
down
like
to
I was kind of
cost.
surprised that
Yeah.
the PS5 even had a pro edition because again, like games like Astro Playroom, Ghost of Tsushima, the games that actually use the different, DualSense controller features, the little touchpad features, like what's the other big thing? The transition from cinematic to like live action gameplay. Like on the games that do it well, it is noticeably sweet and
Yeah.
badass, and it feels like you're in the next generation. We just have a lot of games that don't do that. Like we just got a lot of ports from PS4 to PS5 or, frame drops, optimization issues. That's on the game's code. That's not on the hardware of the PS5.
Yeah. I think
I guess that's why I'm confused that people even buy the Pro at that point.
Yeah, and that's where the question and the conversation ends up evolving into is like, who is this for? And it is for some people, but it doesn't feel like it's a mass market, offering. But it then for me, when I saw that the price point for the PS5 Pro, it's like I think if the next generation comes in under $700, I'm gonna be kind of surprised. Because of how everything has gotten more and more expensive. And then when you count for inflation, like when you just do the math, it is not the most expensive console to ever launch if you adjust for inflation. It is, it is right there smack dab in the middle. I was paying more, for these consoles when I was a kid than I do today, in that respect, and especially because I also make way more money mowing yards nowadays.
I guess
I
I
charge
don't
a
know.
lot for cutting grass.
It kind of depends until we get that next console. I think it'll definitely depend a lot on the sales of the PS5 Pro.
Yeah.
Don't think they're going to run into the issue that they ran into with the initial launch of like being on back order, hundreds and hundreds of orders. Like, oh shit, we got to get these out. Like, they're probably going to have a couple hundred just sitting in a warehouse. Like, all right, sale guys. Nobody wanted to buy them at that price. As long as there's a healthy competitive market, I think we'll still stay around the $500-$600 range. As long as PlayStation has a console, Xbox has a console, computer gaming keeps staying competitive with both their computer and Steam Deck. And then you got Nintendo Switch. Switch 2 is on the horizon.
Yeah. What do you want for the Switch 2?
I get another Legend of Zelda. I don't know. I'm basic. The Switch is not.
Do you think they'd launch with another Zelda with the fact that the Tears of the Kingdom just dropped last year?
Tears of the Kingdom was last year, and they just had that new Zelda game, right? Where you're Zelda instead of Link.
They did announce that. Has that come out yet? Because I actually am looking forward to playing that. It's so funny because the thing that I saw that was kind of a meme is that people were like, DEI, we got to play as a girl now, and then you also have the other meme of what if Zelda was a girl? And everybody's like,
Yeah.
duh, dude, she is a girl. Let's go.
So I am a little pissed about that game only because from what I've seen, there's zero chic gameplay, and that's kind of bullshit.
Okay. Fair,
like Zelda's a badass. I can get behind that, but so is chic. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Do a whole ass Zelda game with no chic.
I'm looking forward to the Zelda game, and so that's the thing. Like the one game that I really want to see them do is I want to see them bring back Wind Waker. They did for the Wii U, and for some reason it's isolated off on the Wii U. Bring that to the Switch, please. Because and Wind Waker is such an, like, my history with Zelda, I was so mad at Wind Waker. Because they showed off the GameCube with the realistic Link. This was Ocarina of Time times 10. Let's go. And then they bait and switched us, and they went with Toon Link.
What is this game for babies?
What is this
game for babies?
I'm trying to evangelize the GameCube, and you got Halo over on the Xbox. Just like that's where everybody's at. And I'm like, guys, you don't get it, Zelda. And then they do this to me. They did that. Like, I was like,
you sit down and play, and you're like, oh shit, that was amazing.
It was amazing, and it has stood the test of time.
Yep.
Where you look at something like Ocarina of Time, and it feels of its time. Wind Waker feels timeless. And that's where I was like, come on, give me that option. I know they did. They brought back kind of a Link's Awakening, like on the Switch or something like that, with a unique art style. I might have to pick that up and play with the kids at some point. We've been having fun playing some games. I'm trying to get him off of Roblox. Anything I can do to get him off of Roblox is a win in my book. So, you want a new game? You want a new game? All right, like, I'll pay money.
Minecraft yet?
No, we haven't got him into Minecraft yet. We've done Minecraft Dungeons because I really like that because, dungeon RPG crawler, etc. I thought they did a good job with Minecraft Dungeons. But no, I haven't got him into the Minecraft. But that's actually a really good thing. Maybe I should try and.
I think it's a good stepping point.
Roblox just not working anymore. Because they do I've seen them do a lot of different building stuff in Roblox. The only downside is that if I get him into Minecraft, you got all those pedophiles that are within the Minecraft community online. Like, it's just like, am I just like,
Brian, do you think they're not in the Roblox community?
Oh, dude, you're facts. Well, at least
they're everywhere.
It's like,
oh my God.
Okay.
Zigazoo.
Who's Zigazoo?
Zigazoo. Have you heard of this? Are you aware of this?
I am not aware of Zigazoo, but I like saying it.
I've been getting ads on this news podcast I listen to constantly for Zigazoo, the social media for children.
Whoa, all right. No.
Terrible idea, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude, like,
horrendous idea.
Do you like mental illness? Here you go. What's
really
the product?
Terrifying that you have not gotten any ads for it. You have 6 kids. Why am I getting a ton of ads for it? I'm just a guy with a mustache.
I think somebody's listening to this podcast. It's like
what's going on?
What do they think about you? Yeah. We saw your picture and we assumed. Oh my gosh. I mean, do you think Dr. Disrespect had anything to do with that?
Probably, but dude, look into that. I'm really curious what your thoughts are on it.
Okay, I'm gonna make a note. Zigazoo.
I want to check it, but like, I don't. You know what I mean?
Right, because then all of a sudden it's like, it really is actually just like,
without kids checking this,
and that gets you on a registry. You're on some. Yeah. You're definitely on a watch list if you look it up, and they're like, this guy has no kids. What's happening? How old is this guy? He's not 5. he's not 5. He's we got a 50-year-old looking at childless 50-year-old. Red flag. We got him. Well, like, you've seen, like, the government actually released apps for criminal organizations as a way of getting them to trust this, like, app for communication so that they could arrest them. And they're like, we've been watching everything you guys have been saying. Yeah. I saw the
whole time.
We've been listening the whole time. And then I think what I saw this week, that apparently it's been confirmed that Facebook is listening. Like, they've been denying that they've been listening to, like, audio, or Alexa is listening, and 100%. And it's like, they've been fighting that for so long. I believed him. I was like, yeah, algorithmically, because, like, maybe the fact that they know that you're friends with a guy who has kids You know, they'll advertise like, oh, well, we saw that you were hanging out and you're talking with Brian. You know, Brian might be interested in this, you know, and that's just I've seen that being done algorithmically in these kind of things. But the other side of it is like, yeah, I think that that's happening now. I'm kind of like, all right, I'm starting to get, I don't know what color pill that would be considered, but it's like, I'm kind of at a point in this year, like we were saying like in our pregame chat, like, can 2024 just take a chill? Like,
chill.
Can we just tone it down a bit?
Can we just get like 1 month of like,
because
I'm just a little hot,
a little warm month.
Hot,
that was it.
A little warm.
But
that was the only thing that
as
we
an
noticed.
adult, I'm just like, I'm kind of like good on conspiracy theories becoming real story. Like, enough has happened. Like, can we stop? Because every time I now hear a conspiracy theory, I'm just like, are we starting a clock until this is like, until this is confirmed? I saw like, you know, some like messaging about, we like here in America, we gotta punish, misinformation. We gotta threaten them with jail time. I'm like, please tell me this is a joke. Like, I'm on the internet too much. Is this real? Like, I can't even tell anymore. So I'm just like,
I mean, I see the argument for it, because if you go into like a crowded movie theater and yell fire, you get arrested.
yeah, there
Right?
is precedence for it.
So not saying you get arrested for anything, but there should be some level of like, hey, you can't say there's 30 greedy, disgusting Jews downtown starting a riot right now. Like, that's going to incite violence and hatred, and that's not
People
good.
eating cats in Ohio, and
Yeah,
it's like, all right, like how.
Like,
I don't know
some accountability somewhere.
I don't think the government, though. I think there's got to be a cultural, like I saw somebody's like, how you manage that is through culture. Like, it's just a culture where we're like,
but then that's where we get Scientology. We're a stupid species. If you let people to their own devices, bad faith actors and swindlers will convince a lot of dumbasses.
Welcome back to the black pill, white pill podcast. Everybody.
Yeah. Talk about health. We talk about video games.
Guys, it's all over. We're done. Oh, we're back. We're so back. Dante, man, you said you got your show coming up in Buffalo. Tell people where they can get tickets, and I think we need to send you on your way, sir.
October, yeah, you got to get rolling here. That'll be October 9th. Can't remember the venue name, but Mike Shanks' show. He's a pretty cool guy. Does a lot of stuff in that area. I think it's just like at Mike Shanks on Instagram. Check his stuff out for pages, or for tickets. But other than that, DantesComedy.com. Mirthful Kaiju Entertainment for trivia comedy events in Cleveland. If you want to get something going, I don't know. I'm really bad at plugging stuff. What's going on with you, Brian? What do you got to plug up?
Well, honestly, the only thing I was thinking about is like, I need to invest in like a mic that I can hold rather than like on this arm. Because it just looks cool. Well, okay, guys, this is our comedy podcast. Where we get together, and there's something that physically like it feels like, yep, I'm in go mode. I've got the mic right here on the lips. We're talking. Maybe I'll see if I can get something like that for my for Christmas or something. You know, ask the wife. I need a new mic.
This one was like $60, Micro City.
Yeah. Okay. That's not a bad price. Is it like the, not MDI, it's whatever, it's like the 3-prong thing?
Samsung. Oh yeah, XLR.
Oh, XLR.
But
yeah.
For computer, it's
USB.
Not what was before USB, when it was like the trapezoid. You know what I'm saying?
I do, but I cannot recall. It's been a while. Oh yeah, what was that? What was that format? That looks USB to me though. Maybe there was something else. The your mic's not working. We killed he killed his mic by unplugging it. As for me, like what's coming up, just doing some open mics. Got lots of content that I've got in the pipeline. I'm sure I'm gonna piss some people off, because that is just a guarantee whenever you put anything out in the world.
Doing a comedy arena?
Yeah, I'm gonna do the arena tonight. I've also been jumping up in
tonight. It's
tonight.
On Tuesdays?
Yeah, they moved it to Tuesdays over the summer. It'll be neat to see if they shift it again, but it moved to Tuesdays. They actually do it where you sign up in advance now. So
hell yeah, they needed that,
dude. It's so much better because
they needed that.
It's like they send out, you get the list. You're like, okay, I'm 10 or I'm 5. It's like, okay, I'm gonna get there this time. And it's like I try to get there early because I like hanging out with the other comics, but like sometimes,
but you don't got to get there an hour early now.
I was
like
there.
30
I was getting
minutes
there like 2 hours early just to be like,
yeah.
All right, so it's like I just want to get on the list, and then once my name's on the list, I can relax. But until I know, then it's like it was always stressful. So that's been a big change. Also, I've been up to Denton for Caleb's mic in
Oh,
downtown.
hell yeah.
It's great. It's a great room.
Is he doing on Tuesdays or
He's also doing
Wednesdays?
that on Tuesdays, and it's like
Tuesdays.
that's where it's like, man, I'd do probably more mics in a week if that was the case, and then maybe I'll start raising my hand about like, hey, is there any shows? Anybody want me to come in and host or warm up the crowd, or something like that? Because I can go into a cold room no problem, like, all right, let's go. I'm excited to be here.
Started.
Let's get it. I had a couple of shows booked, but it's all been family stuff that's come up that I'm like, all right, sorry. Like, or they've asked, they're like, hey, can you come down and do a show here? And it's like, look at the date. I go, no.
Nope.
All right. Don't stop asking, guys.
Yeah.
I'd love to be able to get some more stuff rocking and rolling, especially also like filmed and online outside of the podcast. That's where this has been fun. I really appreciate. And hopefully you're having as much fun as I am. But let's get you sent out on your way, sir. And thanks everybody for listening, watching. Follow Dante. Follow me if you want. And
drink water.
Get
sunlight.
Ground yourself sometimes. And
grounding is great. It's not sounding. Don't look up sounding. Totally different.
Do not Google it. Do not. All right. See you guys.
Hasta la pasta.
Peace.